It is hitch bike rack review time, and this might be my favorite of all. This is the Piston ION, one of the best that I've ever tried, and it's got a lot going for it, but it's not perfect. So hang on to this video and see if it's the right rack for you. What's up everybody, FC here from e-MTB Review, and I reviewed probably 20 of these hitch bike racks for heavy duty applications, especially e-bikes, and this may be one of the best I've ever seen. So it was specifically designed from the ground up for heavy duty e-bikes, commuter bikes, cargo bikes, long wheelbase, just up to 100 pounds. The stats are impressive. But let me backtrack and just let you know that I have like 20 of these rack reviews. I will have a roundup too of the best of 2025. And if you buy through our affiliate partners, Jensen, Competitive, or even Kuat, it will help out our channel. So check the links in the description if you're interested in this one. And what this is a rack that was designed from the ground up, you know, with heavy bikes, you know, in mind from the get-go. I think a lot of racks have been designed, you know, 5-10 years ago, and they just add more material to take care of those, you know, trendy e-bikes that are pretty heavy for the application. But this was designed from the ground up, make sure that there's no weak links in the structure. So let's see what we got going on. The specs are impressive. So it's only 67 pounds because it's a combination of aluminum and steel where appropriate. It's a 2-bike hitch rack. You can't go 3 or 4. So they decided that from the get-go. And then 100 pounds per bike, 100 pounds per bike. So 200 pounds of bike. You can have up to 57 inches of wheelbase. So you could get those cargo bikes. You can have a 4.8-inch tire. So amazing. If you can't lift your 100-pound bike, they give you a bike ramp included with it. Okay. They give you a lock too. That's really cool. And then a couple options before I get going too far is this license plate holder. If you want to be legal, it's an option, and also the lights. $14.85 is how it's configured right now, but in its base configuration, $12.87 is the price of this rack. Okay, so why don't I start off by showing you how to put a bike on and you'll understand what it's got going for it. It's pretty crazy. So to put the rack on, you just slide it in and just crank on the anti-wobble mechanism here. Tool free, but if you have weak hands, you can have a tool as well. So you can go both ways on it. And Kuat is famous for their kick tilt mechanism here. And it's really cool because it's like so articulated, so it's kind of stealthy, but you got a lot of leverage. Got leverage when you're doing it by your hand, and when you're doing it by your foot's kind of heavy anyway. So just step on it and then boom, and then boom. Check that out. That thing is sturdy. I can jump around on this. You know, can I go here? Oh, not bad. Everything is light action. Everything is heavy duty, but light action. You know, I'm getting these racks that are just so heavy now just to move stuff around. And this thing, look at that. One finger, boom, and then slide. Look how easy that slides. And this thing goes all the way to the ground to make room for the big wheelbase or those ramps that we have. It has wheel chocks. Oh, that's the front, and this is the rear. It has straps, an optional strap if you have a really heavy bike. And so the wheel chocks are adjustable. You can just slide it around. It could be super light, or you can crank it down so it is adjustable. The tension, okay. And then right here, so aside from the light action, this thing, instead of just one aluminum blade, you know, it is a structure. It's a structure that's pretty darn beefy. It has this arm that slides on rails, so you can adjust to your wheel side, and then it's fully supported. You know, you don't need all the wheel chocks if you have a light bike, but it's ready for a 100-pound bike designed for that purpose. Has also an integrated lock, which I'll show you in a little bit. So let me show you how to load a bike, how easy it is. All right, here we go. I'm gonna test it with 100-pound bike, e-bikes, but for just this video, so I'm not stressed out, I'll just do this lightweight bike right here, and then I'm even gonna be lazy and do the tilt one wheel at a time, which is what I advise you guys to do. And then boom, you don't have to go there. Boom, it just rests on the wheel chock, so it's like perfect alignment. And then this guy, boom, you can move the wheel chock to against it. You can have a strap, but not really necessary for a bike this light. And right here, this is about as sturdy as it gets. Okay, and then boom, boom, now you're legal. This thing has a light too. You can tilt it if you want to get to access to your hatch right there. And then it's only got 3 positions, so everything is nice and solid. So let's demonstrate how to remove this bike. And let's say you have a 100-pound bike and you want to use a ramp. The ramp is included, by the way, which is really cool. I think that used to be like $100 or $200. Some companies sell it for $200. So get the arm out of the way, and then here is your ramp, adjustable in length. As you extend it really long, it gets a little more flexy. But boom, put the ramp in. It's got these really nice locators for it, and then press it, push it forward, get that arm out of the way. That's always a mystery, like how are you gonna have 3 hands, right? And then just roll it. You could hold the rear brake, do it slow, controlled. Okay, so a few other options that they have. So they really thought of how to handle the big bikes and the little bikes. You have all these ridges here. These ridges will hold your tire, stabilize them. The wheel chocks move, and what's really cool is the tension of the wheel chocks is adjustable. Whether you want to move it all the time or you just want to set them in place, just lock it in with that Allen key. These straps are optional. You could keep them or remove them. They are for heavy bikes. You also have fender compatibility. What is fender compatibility? You know, a lot of these bikes have these fenders and you can only grab the tire from low. Just get it as high as you can, and then to give you assurance that it can't escape, the tire can't slide off, just put this strap on, which they include, and then you have a little bit of peace of mind. Okay, and then another thing they have is an included lock. It's a beefy lock. You just stick it in here, you make a loop, feed it through all the bikes, and then stick it in here and then lock it in with the same key that you are using your hitch cam lock with. All right, and to fold it up, lever is right there. Boom, boom, you are legal. What should we do next? Let's go on a road trip, and I'll show you how the performance of this rack out there on the road, speed bumps and freeway. Okay, on with the road test. On my first use of the rack, went all the way to Santa Cruz and back into freeway, and took a risk, but we're okay. So this is the extreme kind of test for this rack, because that purple bike is 95 pounds and it has fenders. It has fat tires and a fender. As you can see, the rear wheel is, you can't go up high on the tire for stability because of the fender. And I didn't use that safety strap that they have. And right here we go on speed bump. So we have a 95-pound bike and then about a 60-pound bike. So no other rack I have can handle this or come close to it. And here I am taking it on the freeway right away and with speed bumps. So really stable, and these bumps are very sharp, and then the fore and aft movement is pretty good. The rack is stable, that's for darn sure. So will I trust it with a 100-pound bike? Yes, definitely. And I did it with a fat tire with fender. So a real stress test here on a very steep speed bumps right here. So when you have your 50-pound or 60-pound e-mount bike, you'll be fine. You have a security blanket. Right here I go on the diagonal, and torsionally this rack is pretty darn strong. And you can see the lights there. Very cool. Oh, I step on the brake. And really cool. You know, now that I have finally used lights on a bike rack, I'm kind of addicted to it because it gives you a little safety margin that people are going to see your rack, see your bikes, and not rear end you. Not as likely to rear end you. Right here, another diagonal hit. Boom, boom. So torsionally, it does very well. And this is what's going to give you the confidence to go take it on an RV or off-roading. And right here, kind of awkward taking bikes out, but with the ramp is not going to go anywhere. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty long. And this, the 95-pound bike, I would not be comfortable putting this on or taking it off without a ramp. And right there, long wheelbase, it's got good clearances, and I'm able to do it safely. So good test. All right, what do you think of the performance? Right, pretty cool. So those are heavy bikes. That's a 95-pound bike that I put on, the first one, with a really long wheelbase. Okay, so pros and cons. So the pro is I would say the stability. You know, it matches up to the specs, 100 pounds per bike, and big wheelbase, big tire. So it's the most versatile rack that I've ever seen. It includes the ramp, and it is really able to handle it. It's the easiest to use of all the racks that I've seen. On this tilt, you know, I think with the off-road capability and whatnot, they said, hey, let's make sure it doesn't tilt accidentally, so that you can lock it out. So when the red is showing up, that means it will not tilt accidentally or on purpose. Okay, so ease of use is right there, and it really is the most stable rack, one of the most stable racks that I've ever tried. All right, what are the cons? The cons, I would say, the first one is the price. $1287. It's not for everyone. Let's be honest. It is a high quality rack with $1287. That's a lot of Benjamins for you guys. The next con is it did lose the automatic raising of the arms. So the Piston Pro were famous because you didn't have to raise the arms yourself. You just press the button. That is lost here, and they did that to increase the kind of the strength of it and the simplicity of this rack. So this is more a one-up style or a quicker style rack. And the last maybe con I would say is the ramp itself. You know, when I really had a long wheelbase bike, right here, the tire was right on top of it, so I couldn't put on or remove the ramp without kind of lifting the tire a little bit. Okay, so there you go. Before I close, let me talk about the options that they have. So this rear light is an option, and you know, this one and this is an option at $200, $1485 is the price with these options. But man, they're add-ons, but they're really integrated. So very cool. You install it yourself, press on the brake light, and it's visible both when it's folded up and folded down. So very cool, kind of safety measure there. And then this license plate, did you know that when you have bikes on, you can be stopped by a cop because your license plate is not visible. So this keeps you legal, and what a novel solution, how to have it tilting so it's visible exactly when it's up and down. At the end of the day, Kuat, just a legendary, American company that keeps evolving, keeps innovating. They have a lot of options, and I will compare this to a Chinese rack coming up that is quite a bit cheaper, and also I'll compare it to the Piston Pro rack that they have. All right, thanks a ton, everybody.